Good morning, grade 10. The first thing I wanted to make sure that you guys are clear and aware of for this morning. You probably noticed that I put in zeros for you guys for your good copies for your paragraphs. Please don't freak out. I did that kind of selfishly for myself because interns are going home this week. I wanted you guys to be aware that I wanted to put those good copies on the interns. I wanted those marks included. So I put zeros in. It's just tentative. As soon as you get your good copy in, message me and I will mark it and make sure that it doesn't get in as a zero. All right. I want to make that very clear. So one of the very first things that you guys need to do this morning is check your grades. All right. That's really, really important. If I have missed something, please let me know. I'll be going over again every assignment to make sure. Thank you. Perfect. See, some of you are messaging me on Blackboard right now to let me know that you've handed stuff in, but it's still zeros. So I'll be doing that this morning for sure to update everybody's marks. Now, the other thing today is kind of, how can I explain this to you guys? We're going to take a little bit of a break from our writing because I was solely ready to introduce you guys to the next paragraph assignment that I wanted you guys to do. But reading your good copies, I thought, you know what? There's some things that we need to work on, right? For your writing, to keep enhancing your writing. So I want to show you guys a couple of tools that will help you throughout the year that we're gonna use to help you guys with your writing. And that's where we're gonna focus our time today. The other thing that we're going to do, so really we're going to enhance your writing. That's what we're going to do today. So here's our agenda. I had a couple of questions over email last night from you guys about the rating system for the peer review. I'm going to show you guys how to do that. A lot of you guys just put it into the description box, which is great. So I went back and actually put in the rating for you. So you'll see that. Then the second thing that we're going to do is, remember back in like the very first class that I was with you guys and we went over the course outline and I told you guys 80% of your mark is going to be your assignments and projects and all of that. And then there was that 20% that was going to be conversations, discussion forums, and observations. I want to go over that because I've been mulling in my brain. How am I going to incorporate that into the marks? And so I want to go over that with you guys. I want you guys to have a say in how the criteria is worded. All right. Because then I think you guys take ownership of it and it helps you guys digest it as well as to what I'm looking for. Then I'm going to show you your tools that'll help you. It's called Writing on the Run, and I'll assign you a couple of tutorials to do for that. And then lastly, what I want to start to do is start introducing you guys to the provincial exam. Ooh, what does it look like? How is it set up? That sort of thing. And then I'll give you a little bit of practice with the provincial exam as well. All right. So that's our agenda today. So we don't have a huge load of work necessarily, but I wanted to give you a good chunk of time as well for those of you that haven't finished your good copy. Because remember, up until the good copy is what is going to be going home on your interns. So I wanted to give you a good chunk of time for today and tomorrow to get your work handed in before those interns go home. So I quickly went in this morning and checked the peer review where your ratings were, okay? So Jack, I hope you don't mind, I just grabbed yours as an example. All right, so when you uploaded your 2 Word documents, you uploaded your rough draft and you uploaded the Catch the Moon imagery T-chart. This is what it looked like. So Jack did a fantastic job. He did both of those things. You'll notice along the bottom where it says average of ratings. This is where you're going to see the drop-down menu, all right, within the post. And this is where you give them that mark out of 5. So those of you that put your mark right into your reply, fantastic. I went in and actually changed that person's average of ratings to 5 or whatever mark you gave them. All right. So you might want to go back and just make sure that that person received a rating from you. And if they haven't, then please update that. Okay, so that's really, really important. So that's where you're going to find your ratings when you're doing your peer review. And I wanted to mention too, I went in and took a look at what you guys were writing for your feedback. Phenomenal, fantastic. You guys gave some really constructive feedback, which is great. And the other thing I noticed and loved about your guys' feedback for your partners is that when I read the rough drafts of your partner's work, our comments and feedback really matched. That was a big thing. So if there was something really lacking, both of us have put that up there. Okay. Some good questions are coming up here on Blackboard, you guys. So if your partner has not put their rough draft up, that's totally fine. Absolutely fine. It's not, you have until today to do that. Please get that up because this is a really important part of your guys' marks. This is part of you guys interacting with each other and helping each other out. It's part of that communication mark, right? Where your discussion forums are going to be. So that's really, really important. So make sure that by the end of today, your rough draft is put into that peer review assignment so that your partner can go and give you that rating. All right. The next thing I wanted to talk to you guys about was that criteria around the conversation aspect of our overall mark for English. So I went back into the course outline and I changed my wording. So this is what it now looks like. So your assignments, projects, quizzes are now 80%. I think I might actually go back in and again, take out quizzes. You guys know me. I'm not big on quizzes. So I might actually take that right out. But then I changed it to discussion forums and conversations. This is a really big part. It's an intricate part of English when we talk to each other, whether it is online or face-to-face. That's really, really important. So I wanted to go over, well, what would that look like? What does great conversation look like? I know what it looks like face-to-face. When I'm in a traditional classroom, we're making eye contact. My body's turned towards someone who is speaking to me. I'm listening. I'm nodding in agreement or shaking my head. Online, that can get a little bit more tricky. So I want to hear from you guys what this looks like. I've quickly done a rough draft of what I think are conversations, how we can assess them, right? But what I'd like to do with you guys right now is actually flesh this out a little bit more. So for example, I think respect is very, very important in conversations when we are engaging with our either our classmates or between teacher-student conversations. So my big thing is, but what does respect look like? Right? That's really, really important. I can throw that word out there, but do you know what that means? We need to break that down. So to me, respectful, and I'm actually going to just get in here so I can actually edit. For me, respectful conversations actually looks like taking turns. So you're not hogging a conversation between you and a partner, right? Respectful actually might mean using appropriate language. I think that actually should go under respectful as well. So I'm just actually going to take that and put that under respectful. And by appropriate language, maybe we need to flesh that out as well. Maybe that means, you know, no swearing, so on and so forth, right? The next one that I was thinking about, you guys, too, was the engagement aspect between conversations. So are you really engaging with your partner in meaningful conversation? Are you engaging with the teacher in meaningful conversations? And to me, this questioning, probing, deeper thinking demonstrated, that really showcases that engagement piece. Are you questioning? Are you probing? And I think the engagement actually might come down to some listening skills as well, right? Because if you listen to someone while you're having that conversation, then you're able to question, you're able to probe. And I think that's really, really important. And of course, I'm just going to try to move this so you guys can see all the text. Okay. And the big thing is too, are you asking questions when appropriate? That's a big one for me too. If you can find the answer in the assignment or from our live classroom here, our live classroom sessions or our Blackboard sessions, that's your first line of defense when you have a question. Okay, you need to go back and be proactive. Remember, I'm trying to teach you guys some skills of grade 10. I'm not always going to be here to answer your questions. Where can you go to find those answers? So your first line of defense is always going back to the assignment, then looking at the tutorials, then looking at the live feeds, right? If you can't find your answers, then obviously, come to myself for the answers or even another student. That's something else that I was going to add because I loved how you guys are also I think this is an important part as well, helping other students. And I see that quite a bit when you guys are interacting with each other through Blackboard. If someone has an issue, they put it up into Blackboard, and before I can even spit out an answer, somebody else has already typed something in. I love that. That's what makes our classroom more enjoyable, more engaging, right? You guys are making those connections with each other, which is really, really important as well in our classroom. So now my question becomes this. I'd like you guys to take some think time. And I'm going to give you, say, 2 minutes. And I'd like you guys to add, just type into the room in Blackboard, anything that maybe you'd like to add into this criteria. Because I want this to be, you guys to take ownership as this as well. Is there something you don't agree with that I've already listed? Is there something that you would like to see added? Or do I need to reword something? Do we need to flesh something out more? That sort of thing. So could you guys take 2 minutes and in the room chat, just type in any other feedback that you'd like me to include in our criteria for conversations. Hi guys, sorry. As I'm doing this, I'm adding your guys' thoughts onto my, into my criteria where I think they belong. Thank you so much, you guys, that this is perfect for me. And it helps you guys, again, like I said, take that ownership, right? So I'm just going to finish my thoughts here about supporting each other's ideas. I love that. All right. Now, what I'm going to do, yeah, absolutely, you guys, is I'm going to have this, and I see some of you actually private messaged me as well. Fantastic. I'm going to go back to my office and I'm actually going to type this all up. And we'll make it available. And then I'll tell you guys what we're actually going to do with this. And this will not be on your first interim, you guys. That's really important it's for further on down the road. All right. So I'm just going to actually go into now my slideshow. So I will be adding to this, you guys, and I'll be posting it in the course as well, so you guys can know. All right. So that takes care of the criteria. The next aspect on our agenda was the tools for helping you guys with your writing. So what I'd like to show you is a link that I have for you guys to help you with your writing. And there's 2 tutorials that I'd like you to complete for today. That's the parallel structure and the semicolon. So I'm going to show you where you're going to find writing on the run. So if you head to the course, and again, this top toggle dashboard, remember where you guys found your grammar sites, dictionary.com, thesaurus.com, right? If you go underneath, you will see writing on the run. The other thing I want to point out to you guys is, look, I put building our vocab here as well. So that site is there now for you guys to always go back to, all right? So when you go to writing on the run, if you just click on that link, it's going to take you to this site right here, writing on the run. This is a great little site, you guys, because not only does it give you tutorials, but it also gives you a practice quiz and then the answers. So under the title, Writing on the Run, you'll see another dashboard here, and it's got a whole bunch of different aspects around writing. So under sentence errors is the first one that I'd like you to do today, and that's where you're going to find your parallel structure. So when you go to parallel structure, you're going to find the tutorial, and then you guys just need to read through this. All right? And how you navigate through, there's up here in the right top hand corner, you're going to see the tutorial actually has 3 pages. So this is the arrow that you use to go to the next page of the information that you need. And there's your back arrow if you need to review. Now, once you think you understand what parallel structure is all about, go back down to parallel structure and you can do the practice quiz. Then once you do the practice quiz, then you can do the challenge quiz. All right. Now, the big thing with me, you guys, is I'm not taking this in for marks. All right. This isn't something that I'm going to mark for you. This is to help you in your writing. I'm hoping by you guys doing this and accomplishing these little tutorials and quizzes that in your next writing assignment, you will incorporate those ideas and I will see the improvement there that will boost your marks. All right. So I want to see the end product, not necessarily these little quizzes. So once you've done your parallel structure, the other one that I would like you to look at is under the punctuation. And I'd like you to look at the semicolon. Okay. So I chose these 2 quizzes for you guys, or these 2 structures for you guys, because they were the 2 prominent that stood out for me from after reading a couple of your guys' good copies. All right. So make sure that you guys complete those today. All right. So that's writing on the run. And we'll periodically come back to writing on the run as we do more writing throughout the semester, all right, to help you guys out. Now, the other one that I want you guys to look at is the provincial exams. Now, again, if you go to the top menu bar, you guys, you're going to see a link that's going to take you to provincial exams. This is going to take you to the government site, okay? Now, when you get here, there's a couple of steps that you need to go through. Now, these are public, so this is sample provincial exams from the past, so you will not encounter these this year. Okay, so that's just a big thing that I wanted you guys to notice. Now, when you scroll down, you're going to see in the box, this is the area that I want you guys to see here, okay? So you need to make sure you choose the correct course grade, which is 10, all right? Make sure that it's English, and you do have to agree to the copyright terms. Then you can hit search. Now it's going to take you to the grade 10 English exam. You want to make sure that you pick English 10, and then you're going to get exams. Now, they only have 2 samples up here, all right? So I would like you guys to look at the 0809 one, all right? Now, you have the exam and you have an answer key. So again, I'm not going to be taking these in for marking you guys. This is to show you guys what the provincial exam actually looks like and get you used to it. I'm not going to make you do the whole exam today. You're not ready for that. But what I would like you to do is if I bring up the exam, you'll see it'll open up a PDF. And you can start to see what the actual English exam looks like, okay? So these are the actual English exams. It's going to give you instructions. It's going to give you the type of question you're dealing with. So you can see in every provincial exam for English, you guys, you will have multiple choice questions. You will have written response questions and some writing questions, all right? Today, I would like you to just focus on the multiple choice, all right? So if you scroll through the document, that part A is really what I want you guys to focus on today, okay? Reading and comprehending texts. And this is basically usually what they do is they will give you a theme, and usually this theme is throughout the whole exam. Okay, so everything that you read, whether it's going to be an article, whether it's going to be a poem, if they give you a written response, this is really one of the theme is going to be the same thing throughout the whole exam. Okay, so for this exam, the lessons we learn affect our future. That's really the theme that they're going to be talking to you about. So the first thing that they do is they give you a poem. So you need to read the poem, and then you'll see as you scroll down, they're going to start asking you some multiple choice questions. Okay? So once you read the poem, do the questions, and then I can't remember, ladies and gentlemen, if it's just multiple choice. No. So then they also give you another piece of text. Okay? And I think this is an excerpt from a story. Okay, so then you've got to read this story, and then they're going to ask you some more multiple choice questions. There they are. Then what they usually do is ask you, I'm just going to scroll through until, let's see. Oh, look, and now they're giving you a website for you guys to look at, and more multiple choice. Yeah, so if you guys could practice. Yes, Taylor, great question. This is what you are doing today. You're doing your writing on the run. Okay, so let's make this explicitly clear what you need to accomplish today. Your number one goal is to finish everything so far in our course up to the good copy of our paragraphs. That's your number one goal, okay, today. Your second thing that you need to accomplish is your writing on the run, parallel structure and semicolon. Then what you need to do is on your practice exam for your provincial, the 0809 example, you need to complete part A, which is all the multiple choice reading, comprehending text. Okay? So only part A you need to accomplish for that. Again, I do not want it handed in because if you go back, and I'll just show you really quickly, you also have the answer key there for yourselves to take a look at. You don't need me, okay? So you can take a look at your answer key, find out how you did. I recommend, though, doing it first, then going to your answer key and seeing how you did for your multiple choice, part A only. That is your tasks for the rest of the week, basically. Interns are going out this week. Everything up until the good copy is going to be included on that intern. You do not need to hand in your writing on the run or your practice provincial exam. All right? So that's it for live session today, you guys. I will be going back to my office to get into Blackboard for any questions. We will be in Blackboard for probably another 20-25 minutes until math. All right. And I'll, when I get back into my office for Blackboard, I'll let you know when math starts. All right. So give me about 5 minutes to get back to my office, ladies and gentlemen, and I'll answer your questions back then. Perfect. Oh.